America is being destroyed. We can stop destroying ourselves. Yes, we Americans are doing this to ourselves. It is not our nature to destroy ourselves. Yes, America is being destroyed. It is not our nature to destroy ourselves. I am an American, and I'm seeing my own family members, my own fellow Americans destroying themselves. And my name is Bill Hoy. My website is naturallawwithbillhoy.com. And please check out the One Great Work Network, onegreatworknetwork.com. All right. These people, the two you see here on the upper left, Trump and Biden, these people are just facilitators. They give the orders that come from their paymasters, such as the military industrial complex, big pharma, intelligence agencies, wealthy industrialists like Soros and Gates, the bankers that run the not federal, no reserve banking cartel, the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, Federal Reserve, Israel, far country. How about that? Zionist billionaires and the surveillance state like Peter Thiel from Palantir and Musk. Yes, Elon Musk, folks. Elon Musk is not coming to save us, folks. Deal with it. Trump and Biden are actors in a play. Behind the scenes, politicians on both sides and their counterparts work together. They socialize together. In the meantime, we Americans are the ones that inflict coercion, violence, and suffering on each other. The oligarchs are getting us to fight amongst ourselves. This has to stop, and we can stop. Americans have to stop inflicting violence and coercion on our fellow Americans. We do not have to like each other, just stop the violence. And if you want a blueprint here of how this all works, read this book here in the lower left. It's titled Propaganda, and the author is Edward Bernays. And it's a recommended read. America is the way it is because we Americans choose this mostly for a paycheck and a pension. Yeah. Politicians only facilitate the problems. Time to wake up, Americans. Time to deal with it. Okay, here's a list of horrible things we Americans are doing to each other. Number one, American people participated in letting all the migrants into our country and are now participating in mass indiscriminate deportations. Number two, American people are participating in the cover up of child sex, torture, murder programs. Number three, American people are abusing children by indoctrinating kids into transgenderism, homoism, and statism, like saluting flags and standing up for national anthems, which the latter, statism, is much worse, I would say, than transgenderism and homoism. Of course, it's all child abuse. And yes, compelling children to salute flags and stand up for national anthems is just as much child abuse as indoctrinating them into transgenderism and homoism. Number four, American people are inflicting violence and supporting violence on Americans for ingesting, possessing, and distributing various substances. Drug prohibition is violence and creates all the problems associated with drugs. Yes, folks, this is widely known. This is not a theory. It is widely known. Number five, Americans are initiating coercion and threats of violence on each other for not reporting financial gain that is rightfully theirs. IRS workers, quit your job. Taxation is violence. Yes. Number six, Americans were arresting Americans for wanting to run their businesses during a scamdemic. Americans were demanding other Americans wear masks and get vaccinated. Americans enforce scamdemic mandates on Americans. Yes, folks, that's widely known. Number seven, Americans participate in the enforcement of property taxes and work for electric companies that charge Americans high rates. Americans are helping to set up the AI generation plants. Number eight, the police are Americans that are inflicting the violence on other Americans via dictatorial policies facilitated by politicians. The police are just people, folks. The police come from us. The police are us, we are them. They are a cult and they are separated from us in a sense, but in nature, we're all one. The police are Americans who enforce immoral and unconstitutional rules called laws on other Americans, including their own family members. These people that make up the police are also following immoral orders to allow theft and violence. Yes, being ordered to not intervene when businesses are being completely ripped off and people are being assaulted. Number 9, Americans are flying the military tanker jets that are dispersing reflective nanoparticulates, very, very deadly and bioavailable, on Americans, including their own families. Americans work for ionospheric heating installations that are creating havoc with our atmosphere, causing property damage and death on Americans. Yes, that's my research there. Number 10, Americans in the military are going to foreign countries and murdering people, supporting murderers, stealing resources, and destroying ecosystems. And Venezuela's next. How would we Americans feel if some other country did this to us? Number 11, Americans fight against Americans in the left-right political divide. Americans vote for politicians who facilitate theft from Americans and initiate violence against Americans. Let's come together and agree to disagree. We don't have to all like each other. Just stop the violence. We Americans are in a war against the wealthy oligarchs, the politicians, and whoever enforces their mandates, which are Americans who enforce their mandates. This war does not require any physical force to win. All Americans have to do is stop initiating violence and coercion on each other. Politics is the problem, not the solution, especially when it's run by a foreign country. Stop voting and working for any federal agency. Stop working for all agencies that initiate violence against others, like the IRS, the FBI, CIA, DEA, ATF, and ICE. Tell your family members who work for federal agencies to quit their jobs. We can walk away from this just like we did during alcohol prohibition. Yes, look into that. We Americans walked away from that. Be prepared for false flag attacks, possibly nuclear. We Americans have to stop making excuses for people who work for agencies that initiate violence against Americans. The "I was just following orders" excuse has to become unacceptable.